Watching Hitchcocks till I drift off. Woke up to this beat and let the shit knock. She wouldn't give top till my dick soft. Clockwork every weekend, it's like TikTok. I just hit Atlanta, I got Tufo with me. In the cockpit, I might just take him to Pluto with me. If Bruno hit me, we might have to fuck with Mars. And they don't wanna hear me sing, they told me rap those fucking bars, well alright.
So these are what we always start with. These are the orders that need to be packed during the day. So today it's 17 orders it seems like, which is pretty decent. It's not the most, but it's also not the least that we get. So we put all these papers out and then we just go about packing the orders. We take one of these papers, one of these baskets, and then we walk around, pack the stuff. I'm still doing this, which I shouldn't really be doing. I've been doing this for like 2.5 years now, and my order packing days are kind of coming to an end, given everything else that I've got going on. So we have some new hiring, some new people are gonna start to take over some of the stuff, which is gonna be very good for me, but also good for the business, so I can focus more on the value drivers and the value driving stuff. But yeah, we're gonna get this going, and then we will be going out for some meetings during the day. So I start all of my mornings like this. I sit down at the computer, I drink a protein shake after having been to the gym, and I look into all of the numbers. There's this saying that whatever gets measured gets managed, and I really abide by that. I always start every morning with looking at website traffic. I look at sales to see if there's any deviations, if we're doing good, if we're doing bad, if I should be happy, if I should be sad. Not really, but you get what I mean. I look at my app side of the business, on my app portfolio, how's that going, what we're doing in terms of downloads, what we're doing in terms of revenue, what we're doing in terms of MRR growth, etc. So I'm tracking and monitoring all of that. Maybe the important thing is to not be obsessed about all the numbers. There's couple of metrics that I don't care about. For example, I don't care too much about the bounce rate on the website, for instance. Conversion rate, for example, I try to keep track of. If I see a deviation in how many people download my apps and then they'll sign up, I'll keep track of that. So focus on the main metric, the main movers in regards to metrics, but don't focus on everything because that will just get you confused. But today we have some order packing, we have some meetings that we're going to travel out to, and we also have some fun stuff that we're going to start with 3D printing. So if you're interested in 3D printing, then make sure to stick around, and in the evening we're gonna take some app stuff. Okay, so it's actually flashed forward today. We're having a crazy month here in the store. We're breaking all the records, which is fun. And I myself pack all this. So as you can see, we have a lot of orders going out. We just received an order we delivered from UPS. And I'm actually working by myself today. So I've been packing all of this by myself, which is, I shouldn't be spending my time doing this. And I've kind of come to the realization that my time is not optimally spent packing orders. It's more spent doing value adding tasks, things that's actually gonna add incremental revenue to the business. So I'm actually hiring a person who's starting probably next week. So we're actually going to buy some stuff for him, like a computer, etc, etc. And also we're gonna do some 3D design, because one of my businesses is 3D printing, and we've just received a large order, around $2,800, for a bunch of year markers. So let's get into designing those, and I'll show you the software. Alright, so please ignore the mess behind me, but now this is the year marker we were working with before. Please focus. It's 2025. Now this is the latest one. It's round, a couple of changes there, and also it's slightly smaller, which shouldn't be a problem. I've sold like 5,000 of these in 2025 and hoping to sell a little bit more in 2026. We made them slightly thinner, which is going to be good for just material use, and they don't need to be that thick. It means that we can print a couple of more per spool of filament, which is what you use for this type of stuff. So, and we're going to set up a file to print 26 of these per time. And I just did a math. With the 3,500 that I need to send out for the first order, I need to run 152 different batches, meaning that these 3D printers need to run 5 times a day for 15 days straight. So it's gonna take some time, but we're gonna get there to get to 3,500. It's like one of those things that I'm working on so many things, and it's going really well. Like, it's never been going better than it's going in October of 2025. November of 2025. So we're peaking in so many ways, but we're also doing many random stuff, which means that I can't really focus 100% on one thing, which isn't always a good thing. So we're gonna dial in a little bit more in 2026. That's why we're hiring someone now. So we're actually going to go get a Halloween costume for tomorrow, and then we're going to do some work, order some stuff. Maybe we buy that where we're going. We need a computer, a Mac Mini, we need a desktop screen thing, we need a new chair, we need a keyboard. So let's pack up shop here, or let's load 26 of these times 3 and then head out.
Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Leaving me, dipping out on me.
As you saw today, we packed out and shipped out so many orders. I had barely any time to do anything else. But the good news is that from next week, we're hiring a new person inside the store. And I'm just about now putting together a little tech package for him. We're getting some type of gaming screen just because they have a nice refresh rate. And we're getting an iPad that we're going to be using inside of the store to invoice customers. And then we're getting him a Mac Mini. If you're gonna get a laptop, but you're gonna leave it in one space, there's no point to get a laptop. Get a goddamn stationary computer. So we're gonna put this together, and $1,800 for a chair, a mouse mat, a keyboard, a mouse, an iPad, a screen, and the full-blown Mac Mini with an M4 chip, 16 gigabyte RAM. It's wild. Like this laptop, for instance, was like $5,000 just because it's a laptop, and you get all of that for yeah. I just think it's good value. Also, another piece of good news that I haven't told you about, or maybe I have.
Oh.
Today we passed 8,000 MRR.
Wow.
Boom. It's pretty wild. I started building apps back in 2019. This is my chart, for example. I built my first app in 2019. I didn't use Revenue Cap back in that time. It doesn't go back all the way to 2019, this chart. I started using Revenue Cap in the beginning of 2022. And if you take a look at my chart here, bear in mind, I built 3 apps prior to this. None of them made a single dollar. My best month was May of 2023, where I made $177, which is comparatively low. And then literally 6 years after starting is when I've started to see this grind. And this just goes to speak that if you stick with it, then don't you dare give up. Just keep shipping stuff and make sure that you get it out there. If you just have the consistency and the persistence to keep on building and keep on pushing stuff out there, the likelihood is that one of these things will pop off, one of these ideas will start to make sense. You will get better at it. It's kind of like, I've made a video about this before on my old channel about throwing spaghetti at the wall. If you throw one piece of spaghetti at the wall, the likelihood that's gonna stick is not massive. If you throw 100 pieces of spaghetti on the wall, the likelihood that's gonna stick is significantly larger. And if you also combine that with the fact that you're getting better at throwing spaghetti, you're getting better at knowing which type of spaghetti to use, and you're getting better at knowing how to boil the water for the spaghetti so that it has the perfect consistency when it hits the wall so that it's more likely to stick, then you're more likely to get a piece of spaghetti to stick to the wall. So yeah, just some reflection. All right, the day is drawing to a close here. I'm just sitting here planning the rest of my week. It's actually Sunday. I didn't do too much this weekend, but now I'm actually planning the rest of my week here. And what I use is called Motion. It's decent. I've been using it for quite some time now, so I'm just kind of figuring out how it works, etc. But you got some projects and you got some tasks related to those projects, and then it will actually make you a calendar automatically. So I'm actually kind of sampling that right now. I've been using it for around a month. Seems good enough for now, but I kind of prefer doing it manually. So I think in 2026 we're going to go back to actual physical bullet journaling. It's something nice about, getting to write it down and something. Now we're doing a lot of work on both mobile apps but also on Arboridsprediken, and I'm feeling right now that I'm spread a little bit thin, but it's not too bad. I'm aware that the man who chases 2 rabbits catches neither. That is true. But also, I don't really believe in specialization. Specialization is for insects. And I truly believe in that, because to live a fun, a fulfilling, meaningful life, you need to do and try various things, because your life is going to be dynamic. You're not just going to have one interest throughout your entire life. You're going to have multiple interests and multiple things that catch your attention that you want to try and that you want to give a go. So that's why I'm trying to make sure that I try as many of these things as I possibly can. And that's why you see me working on 3D print farms, and that's why you see me working on e-commerce, and that's why you see me work on YouTube and social media, and that's why you see me work on mobile apps and onboardings and etc. A lot of stuff, but it's fun and I enjoy it. So that's what brings meaning to my life in a sense. But that is going to be it for this week's vlog. More coming next week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.
Take a Vanetta, waffle and stitch on a sweater, parakeet green on the letters. I don't be rocking the butters. If you see me booted, it's Mason Margiela.